going?
How are you, Giselle?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good, very good. So first off, thank you so much for being so patient.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Of course, of course. So you're getting ready for a show here not too far away, correct?
5 weeks.
Mm. I feel like it's going to fly by. Now, before we start the interview, I was tagging people from Texas, and I was going to tag Ronnie, your coach, and but his old screen name is the Palestinian Bear. I'm like, did this guy block me? Did I do something wrong? And I
He,
was like looking everywhere, and he changed his screen name, and I tagged him. I was like, I tagged your coach because I saw it on one of your posts, and then his picture popped up. I'm like, phew, I thought he blocked me.
nope, he changed his name, but he's there.
Very good, very good. He's awesome. I've interviewed him, and we got Nikki Pinello, who I'm interviewing after you. So that's awesome. But he's fantastic. He's just got like these incredible wheels, and he trains so hard. So tell us how you got started. How did you discover all of this?
Like the competitive, or how did I start with
How
Ronnie?
everything like how did you discover the gym? I think because most people discover the gym first. Rare occasions, people are like genetic freaks or something. People are like, you should compete even before they picked up a single weight. But usually, how did you discover the gym to begin with?
So back in October, I actually about a year and a half ago, I was thinking a lot about competing because I was watching one of my friends doing it for like a year, and then came October, I really went through like a depression mode back in like October when COVID hit. But October 26th, I said, this is enough, no more. It's time for a new lifestyle change. And I decided to go to the gym, to Fox Fitness. That's like 2 minutes down the road. And I signed up and I said, I'm here. I want a trainer. I want to compete. This is what I want to do. So I spoke to a few trainers at the gym. I signed up with one of them. I was his athlete for like 3 months. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. I just wasn't getting the proper attention that I needed from this coach, being that I wanted to be a competitor. And I don't really want to get too much into that because
No.
that was like not good at all. It was a 3 months waste of time. But on the last month, I kept watching Ronnie with his clients. And I'm like, man, this dude is kicking ass. Like, do I really want to be his athlete? And I was like, you know what? If I really want to get on stage and win and be successful, then I need to have a coach that wants me to be successful as well. And Ronnie is nothing but, he's amazing. He's an amazing coach, and he's here. He's my therapist, my friend. I can text him anytime I want if I'm having a hard time. He pushes me to my limits, to the point where he'll make me throw up and tell me to keep going. Leg days are rough, but because
He loves legs, yeah.
his leg days are just on a whole nother level. Like,
Mm.
I'm pretty sure I'm probably not going to walk this weekend after my leg day. But it's okay because from January, he grew my quads in 1 month. Just 1 month that I was with him. And then we had to stop because for bikini, you can't have big quads. So we actually haven't hit quads in a while.
But if you have a predisposition to growing big quads, I mean, maybe one day wellness might be your calling, you know?
Yes, me and my coach have already discussed that long term, we are going to do this show in 5 weeks. Depending on how well we do on this show, he will determine whether I'm going to do a show in 2 weeks after that. And if I do that show 2 weeks after that, then I do want to go off season, and we are going to grow for wellness.
Excellent, excellent.
It's too big
And
for bikini.
well, no, but I was going to say, because I've interviewed quite a few ladies that honestly, they are wellness, and before wellness, they had to either like burn tons of muscle to do bikini, or they had to alter their physiques to do figure. But now, I mean, I think you're doing bikini. Is this your first show?
This is my first show, yes.
So yeah, try bikini, see how that goes. But I mean, if your legs really want to grow, then maybe move up to wellness. But I think it's great that, as a bikini competitor, Ronnie's got you training legs, because a lot of bikini competitors, they focus on glutes. They're like, I want glutes. The thing is, like, you know, it's hard to just train glutes without training legs. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to have like, you know, underdeveloped legs and just amazing glutes. You don't want to have anything that's like overdeveloped and other body parts are underdeveloped, because every division, regardless of the musculature, is about symmetry. So if you're just totally like, I mean, no offense, but if your body's just like crap, but you've got a one good body part, that's not what, you know, any division's all about. And going back to your earlier point, I think that it's great that you're not going to dwell on the relationship with the prior coach that didn't work. My friend Mary Beth Ewing's in here now. She's at national level. She's like this close to a pro card, and she's had, you know, coaches where, now listen, I've got nothing against online coaches, but if you're going to have an online coach, that coach has got to be like amazing, because otherwise it's like the distance enough is one thing. But then if they're not like, if they're not giving you the attention that you deserve, and if it's almost like you're like pushing your updates on them, pushing your check-ins on them, then what the hell are you paying them for? You know what I mean? So it's like, so it happens like with, you know, competitors that are getting started. It happens with competitors that are on the verge of going pro. It's just, you really got to be careful. And unfortunately, there is no like guide for competitors. You know, it's like, you know, you kind of take your chances there. But I think even though it was 3 months wasted, thank God it was only 3 months, because some competitors spend years with a coach that does absolutely nothing for them.
I know. Good thing. See, the thing is that the first coach that I had, I already knew that something was off, because I've seen so many competitors and their coaches. They're like friends. They're like bestest friends. I mean, you spend so much time with your coach, and you have to tell your coach what's going on with your life. You have to, because your coach is what's going to help you succeed. If your coach does not help you succeed, then you don't have the right coach. And with Ronnie, I don't feel like, I feel like he's going to take me, not just this show, he's going to help me get that pro card.
Absolutely. And it's so important to have that support, you know, to have a coach that you can trust, that has your best, you know, your best at heart, especially being a woman, because your hormones are so different than a guy's.
Oh
And
yeah.
whether, you know, it's bikini or bodybuilding, if your coach is not aware of that, does not take that into consideration, your coach can actually hurt you,
Right.
natural or otherwise. It doesn't matter. Your hormones are just, they got to be, and Ronnie's got the experience and he knows what he's talking about and he knows training. But before we move on to the next topic, I want to keep talking about support. Let's talk about your significant other, because I feel like support is so important when you're competing, and that you need to have it. If you don't, it's not just about the training and the subs, you know, and the post. There's support's really important.
Yes. Honestly, I couldn't do it without my husband, especially the last few weeks with my foods being constantly cut and my carbs not being really low. I get really tired, very weak. My husband has taken over all of my foods. He makes all of my foods. He packs all of my foods. And mind you, he's also in prep, you know,
Mm,
so he's, you know, got his stuff going on too. But I couldn't do it without him. Like, I'm a woman and I get in my head all the time. I always ask myself, am I going to be when it comes to my husband and my coach Ronnie, they've probably already heard it 10 million times. Is my mix section going to be ready before show? Like, every day I'm like, I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know if I'm lean enough. I don't know if I'm capable of doing this. And my husband's always telling me, you're capable of doing this. You can do anything you set your mind to. You can be anybody you want to. You're not any different than anybody else.
right.
And my coach is the same way too. He'll tell me, just get off your phone. Get off your phone.
Right.
Stop being on social media. Just don't stress. But yeah, I have a great support system, and not just my husband, not just my coach. I have the support system of all of my teammates from the gym, the owners to Fox Fitness. They've been awesome. They've been great. They've provided this awesome gym can that I can keep going and building my muscles and growing. And I've never had this type of support system. And now that I have it, it's like I don't know what to do with it. As I want to show all the appreciation that I have for them, but it's still new to me because I've never had this type of support.
Absolutely. You know, and there's something to be said about, who is that there? Fit Doc Star. That's awesome. I'm horrible at reading comments, Giselle, but you know, there's some good gyms in Texas. You know, Destination Dallas comes to mind. You know, a very like photographic, you know, like trendy gym. But when it comes to the gym that you're at, you know, what I've heard from Ronnie, what I've heard from Arnold, it is it's like a family, and it's a hardcore family, and it's a and that's why I'm so big on support. And so you pointing that out, the owners and the people there alongside your coach and your husband, that support's so important, because yes, it is about muscle, and yes, it is about prep and peak week and all that, but without the support, you're just lost. I think anybody would be,
Yeah.
And the other thing too is that I hope that you never lose that little bit of fear, because it really isn't fear so much as it is adrenaline. You know what I mean? And it's good to, yeah, I think it's good to go into a show like really assessing your competition. It's okay to have that self-confidence, but still wonder, am I good enough? Am I good enough? Because there's people that go into shows really cocky. Yeah, sometimes they win, sometimes they don't. But the thing is that they don't have that hunger. You know what I mean? And I feel like that hunger is really a big part of it, especially like when you're battling for a placing, you're battling for that overall. That hunger is what does it.
Right. Yeah. See, and this is my first show, and I don't really expect a big win. I don't expect to take overall. I've already won by stepping on stage. I've already won by changing my physique, by um, just doing it, because not everybody is confident enough to get on stage and do it. But I always said I don't have the full confidence either. But I know that by doing it and by stepping on stage, confidence will come.
Absolutely.
I practice every single day, and you can ask everybody. And I go every day and spend like 3 hours in the gym. I do my 1 hour to an hour and a half working out. I do my cardio, and I don't leave the gym until I get at least 10 to 15 minutes of practice on my posing. Every
That's
single
so important.
Yeah, I don't miss a single day. I mean, I'm not leaving here. And if I leave here, I go home and I eat, and I'll go back and do it. But I've won already by stepping on stage. And this is not the end for me. This is just the beginning. I'm going for that pro card.
Definitely. And that's exactly the mindset that you want to have. You're going for the pro card from the very first show that you get into, because you can compete for fun or as part of a weight loss challenge or transformation, and that's all fine. But if your ultimate goal is to turn pro, then you've got your goals set from the first show, from the level one, from the true novice, whatever it is. You've got your level. You've got that set. One thing that Peter Shallow says, classic physique pro, Olympian. This guy, started out winning master shows, went on to win open shows, went to Orlando, the biggest stage in bodybuilding. And he says, and he just said here earlier, that sleep is so important, and so is sticking to your diet. But I can't tell you how important sleep is, especially the night before. Now, I know that at some shows, they might have the ladies and the guys, but, well, the guys don't do hair and makeup, but like the ladies might have to do hair and makeup or tanning at 3 a.m. Well, that doesn't mean stay up all night. If you have to sleep from, I don't know, from 9 to 12, and then from like maybe a cat nap from 4 to 5, whatever. But just, so many people are just so like wired on adrenaline that they don't sleep the night before. And
Yeah,
then I
I've
think
heard.
that hurts them. Yeah, because they're not rested. They're on edge. You need that sleep.
Right. I have a hard time sleeping, so I'm hoping I can sleep on the day of my show
Yeah.
or the night of my show. But yeah, I can see why they wouldn't sleep. It's just the excitement. I mean, I've been in
Yeah.
prep for 20 weeks. So
That's
I'm like
crazy.
so freaking ready. I'm so ready
Yeah.
I'm ready because like ultimately I really want to go to wellness, because that's kind of like the physique that I really want.
Yeah.
But because this is also a transformation for me, I had to basically drop a lot of weight in a lot of
Right.
midsection, which I've had 4 kids. So, I mean, I
You
have
have
a
had
lot.
4 kids?
I have 4 kids. I've been
Wow.
married going 15 years married. So, it's been a journey of transformation. So I know
Mm,
that I need to do bikini first to just, drop all the weight that I had, and then
definitely.
from grow into wellness.
If I was a bartender, I would totally card you. You don't even look old enough to drink, but that's awesome. That's awesome. And we got
Thank you.
Art against all odds in the house. Art is killing it too. And I don't know if you know Art, but he's killing it.
Yes,
And,
he was one of the coaches I talked to as well. Everybody is so nice at
nice,
this. Yes,
nice. And he's shirts are selling out, which is awesome. It's good to be a
I
sellout when it's
I
with
got
shirts.
it shirts too. Yeah, I can honestly say I'm so blessed, so
Definitely.
blessed.
Definitely. I want to welcome Big Rob TV also. Check him out on YouTube. Did some really cool videos with Cassidy Campbell. And if you like, this guy will have you laughing your ass off. Excuse me for cursing. But so one thing I kind of want to go back to you had said earlier too, is how you pose and you practice your posing. I think that's so important, especially when you get on stage, because, the judges might have you up there a lot longer than you think, because they might want to have more comparisons. They want to, like, the judges on the ends might want to see you. A lot of people that are not really all that comfortable posing, they start gasping, they start cramping. They're like, when's this going to be over? So I think the fact that you're practicing so much is going to be a benefit to you on stage.
Yes, I agree. I mean, you can never practice enough. Practice makes perfect. And, being that I'm the first competitor, I don't want to mess up. So when I practice at the gym, and I practice from all different angles, because I don't know which way I'm coming out or how it's going to happen. So I just
That's true.
practice all different angles. And like my posing coach, she's awesome. Mia was one of my posing coach as well. And she's an awesome posing coach. But right now I'm with Letty right now, and she's awesome. And she's trying to get the sassy out of me, but we'll get it.
That's awesome. And posing is so important. To go back to Peter Shallow, I don't know if he's still in here or not, but so Peter lives in Southeast Florida. He would drive to Southwest Florida to pose with Cheech. That's probably like a 2.5 hour drive. He's driving straight through the Everglades. So if his car breaks down, he's gonna get eaten up by alligators. But the thing is, that's how far he drives. Then in the Northeast, you got men and women that'll drive 2-3 hours to pose with Kenny Wallach, who's like another posing god. So there he is. So the thing is, yeah, posing's so important. And it really entertains the audience, but it's also good for the judges. You can hide weak points. You can also like impress them with like like your glutes or your legs. It's really, really important. It's really important. And like you said, you don't know which side of the stage you're going to come out of. That's a really very insightful thing, especially for someone that's never competed. It's very true.
Right. Yeah. And I've had amazing posing coaches that have told me that. So they tell me little tricks here and there, and I just try to
Absolutely.
and I just, even if I just win one medal, I will just, like I said, I'm happy because I've already won by stepping on stage, and
Well,
this is just the beginning.
definitely. Well, I also really want to just emphasize that you may win everything. Like I've actually interviewed novices, true novices, actually, which have never done a single show, and they've gone on to win the whole show. So really, and also Bikini is so, it's so interesting. I don't know how else to describe it. You have very limited stage time, and if you like what Peter said is so important, presentation is so important. You have very limited number of poses, very limited amount of stage time. If you just nail it, you nail your walk up and you nail your walk back, and you nail your condition while you're not being judged. Like, in other words, like when they say relax, but you don't really relax. If all of that's on point, I mean, you could win everything. I mean, if you win your class, then it's anyone's game, it's anyone's game from there. So I would just, I don't want to like blow your head up, but I'm just saying, like, it could happen. It could happen.
It could very well happen, and I would be completely blessed if it does happen. And I
right.
have a beautiful angel up there now that passed away today.
Oh,
That's going to watch over me, and she's my angel, and I'm not going to be by myself on stage.
yeah.
She's going to be right next to me. So, I mean,
Absolutely.
sucks that, I had to lose my grandma on peak or on prep, but which has made it a little difficult this past week. But I want this so bad that I'm like grieving and trying to stay strong as much as I possibly can.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'm so sorry for your loss. I was so close to my grandma, but like, I think the way you're thinking about it is the perfect way, and and our loved ones want to see us happy. And if anything, you can dedicate it to her. And honestly, the placing doesn't matter. If you win, of course, it's going to be great. But like you said, getting on stage is a real victory. And the only thing that would like throw a monkey wrench into everything is if you did win everything, or you won your class at least, which is still huge. Because then it's like, well, do I keep doing this and then go for everything, or do I go to wellness? Because see, that I think would throw a huge monkey wrench in your wellness plans, is if you won at Bikini. You know what I mean?
Right. I've already said if I was to win everything, like I said, I would be blessed. But I would probably cry.
Right. No, for sure. For sure. Well, I definitely want to thank you for doing this interview, and I think that you're going to do big, big things. You're already doing big things, and
Yes.
you know, doing interviews is huge. So hopefully, this will just be the beginning of many to come. But
Thank you.
please tell us, absolutely, please tell us your first and last name correctly, because you told me how to say it, but I want to make sure, I want to hear you say it, and then your Instagram, any websites, anything you want to promote.
So my name is Giselle Ikueme. I have Instagram, GFit08, and then I have Facebook, which is Giselle Marie Ikueme. That,
Awesome.
that's all I have for now. TikTok, same. I keep my same name.
Oh, you're on the clock too. Very good. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I definitely want to thank you for doing this interview. I don't know if you can hear in the background. The maintenance is in the office building, but hopefully you can't hear that.
No,
But anyways, I definitely want to thank you very much for doing this, and to your coach, to your husband, to your gym, to everybody. I think you're going to do big, big things. So for Giselle Ikueme, this is Christian Duke, StrengthAddicts.com. Thank you so much.
thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Bye-bye. Wait, oh, thank God. You know what happened there? Like for a second, I had a text message, Giselle, and I was terrified because if you would have cut out, I wouldn't have been able to save this, but I was able to save it. And to the 18 other people, thank you so much for coming by. Not the ideal exit, but a perfect one. Thank you so much, Giselle.
Thank you.